The Watcher would discuss grave matters with you. How very nice. Before we speak at length, I believe a change of surrounds is in order. I have more than ill tidings to share, you see. I sensed others arriving not long ago. Though my communions with Hydaelyn have grown infrequent, I have learned enough from her to know these are your comrades. And as luck would have it, they have already reached my abode. Come, let us join them. And they would be like, what have you done? I'm like, no, nothing, defeated Zodiac. Maybe presume this being is a native of the moon? Dare I ask what happened before we arrived?
How to put that?
You know Zodiac? You know what my biggest concern is? I told this to you before, like, Zodiac is a huge entity that has been built up in years and years and years, and he was the first trial boss.
Yeah,
what else?
After, right?
Yeah, what comes after was waiting us, I don't know. Watcher, are you going to say anything? Yes, they are indeed the three I sensed. Okay, Ishtola, talk to me. Thank goodness you're unharmed. We did what we could to subdue the Tempered before making our way here. Not without casualties, unfortunately. Some few detonated explosives, killing themselves and others. The contingent's healers had their hands full tending to the injured and enthralled when we took our leave.
Lest you wonder, Mr. Scryle hath also been delivered unto their care, serving as a conduit for Hydaelyn's power, hath taken its toll. But she will recover in due course.
Are you voicing Riange from now on?
No, I can't. I can't. I can't make that. I promise to practice.
As for Alphino and Elise, they insisted on remaining in Garlemald while we three rushed to your aid. It appears, however, that matters here have already come to a conclusion. Yeah, about that. Are you going to say something, Watcher? Or are you going to just
He's
look?
going to go, hoi, hoi, hoi.
But what manner of conclusion, if I might ask? And is this the ally whom Hydaelyn bade you seek out? He is not unlike the shades of Amarot. Not unlike, perhaps, but not the same. I was created by Hydaelyn, together with this place. It has ever been my duty to keep vigil over Zodiac, or rather, it was my duty. Yeah, I kind of killed him. Well, it was not I who dealt the final blow, though.
Yeah.
It was Fandaniel's doing. Then Zodiac is no more? Yeah. And not without consequence, I'm afraid, for now the delicate weave of the star, preserved by his presence, will begin to unravel. If you mean to avert the final days, you shall have need of... Oh no! Oh no. Are you alright? Watcher? Come to your senses, please. My attempts to forestall Zodiac's release have all but exhausted my strength. If you might allow me to rest a short while, I will share with you all I can. Please do. You need not exert yourself on our account. These crystals contain records of your time here, yes? May we peruse them while we wait? By all means. If you would review them chronologically, might I suggest beginning with those on the upper floor? I shall leave that to you, Alia. Oh no. While I see what can be gleaned from the crystals on these lower levels.
Oh, lazy Stola.
I would rather see them for myself anyway. Zodiac defeated. While he may have been in an incomplete state, that's nevertheless an impressive feat. But even if you hadn't, his demise was inevitable. Fandaniel would have seen to it one way or another. That said, he probably would have wielded Zodiac's power to wreak untold destruction before taking his own life, making this the better of two unfavorable outcomes.
Dost thou suppose our host hath maintained this solitary vigil since the very beginning? without rest or relief.
If so, these records comprise the sum total of his existence. We must needs handle them with care. As you gaze into the crystal, ancient knowledge of Zodiac flows through your mind. Daily summary. No abnormalities detected. Daily summary. No abnormalities detected. Daily summary. No abnormalities detected. These appear to be records of a long, lonely vigil on the moon, dating back to the beginning of Zodiac's imprisonment. As you gaze into the crystal, knowledge of past calamities flows through your mind. The records describe how, with each rejoining, Zodiac's thirst for freedom grew, as did the strain on the brands. Maintaining Zodiac's imprisonment appears to tax Hydaelyn greatly. As you gaze into the crystal, knowledge of past rejoinings flows through your mind. The records describe the Watcher's efforts to prepare in the event Zodiac broke free from his prison. The records go on to describe maintenance carried out regularly with the Loporrits, though it's not clear who or what they are. I know what they are. As you gaze into the crystal, a record of an unexpected visitor flows through your mind. The records note the Watcher's musings when Elidibus is spotted on the moon, though clearly not for the first time. It is clear he and his brethren have a keen interest in freeing Zodiac from his prison, and yet they have made no attempt to destroy the brands. Perhaps they prefer he remain hidden from mortal eyes until the final rejoining. Perhaps they realize we would never dare bring harm to Zodiac so long as he remains imprisoned. So it is as we suspected. Maintaining the brands requires a great deal of her energy and focus, and this cost has grown higher with every rejoining. That would explain why contact with her has become rather infrequent since the 7th Umbral Calamity. I too made a rather startling discovery. This heavenly body we know to be the moon was in fact created by Hydaelyn. When the Watcher said he was created together with this place, I thought he only meant this facility. Truly, Hydaelyn's powers are far beyond anything I could have imagined. Oh, so she created the moon. Why none of the moons are actual moons? Why? I thank you for affording me this short reprieve. What, really? Really, was that enough? Maybe you want to rest a little bit more.
It is we who should thank you. The records stored here are nothing short of extraordinary. There is much we could learn of Zodiac and his imprisonment. But perhaps you could offer us more focused guidance. Pray, tell us of the calamity that came before and comes now again.
Yeah, tell us about the final days. Long ago, before the Great Sundering, there was but a single world. Etheris. Oh, so we know the name of the world now. One day, from within the earth, a terrible cry issued forth, effecting a profound change in all manner of life. We were not exempt. Our creation magics ran rampant, giving shape and form to thoughts of hopelessness and despair. At first, the phenomenon was limited to a single region, but quickly, so very quickly, it spread and engulfed the whole of the star.
Were the ancients ever able to deduce its source?
I wonder the same, Y'shtola. They were not. However, the convocation struck upon a method to predict where next the corruption would manifest. Oh. The etheric energies which flow through all of creation in the form of various currents. the currents which course through the land and seas, those which flow through the very air, and those of a celestial nature which encompass both our star and this moon.
Celestial currents. I cannot say I am familiar with the concept.
Nor would I expect you to be. Few scholars of our time knew of their existence. Their invaluable knowledge helped us to better understand the nature of the calamity. Like the terrestrial ones of earth and air, the celestial currents form a vast network, but the ethereal distribution is not consistent. The Convocation soon realized that the inciting incidents occurred in regions where the flow was weakest. Correlation without clear cause, ultimately. Nevertheless, on closer study, a stagnancy of ether was observed in nearby currents.
And so they sought a means to harness the forces of darkness, of activity and growth. Thus was Zodiac conceived. No less a power than a god's could set right the laws of nature and quicken the flow of ether within the star.
Precisely. With the advent of Zodiac, our end was averted.
Emmett Selk claimed that those who summoned Hydaelyn did so because they saw Zodiac's power as a threat. Is that true?
Indeed. There was a faction opposed to Zodiac's creation, but their aim was never to unmake him. They understood the continued preservation of the natural order was dependent on his very existence. Until we could identify and address the underlying cause of the final days, he would need remain, for his departure would set in motion those apocalyptic forces once more. So we were not supposed to defeat him? Oops. Hydaelyn recognized this as well, and so, rather than destroy, she sundered Zodiac herself and the star into lesser reflections that she might confine him in this place. I could have sworn she besieged me to banish the darkness, or then what she told me in the ethereal sea was false? That the two once dwelled as one until Zodiac grew hungry for power, upsetting the balance twixt them? Not quite a lie, though a rather gross embellishment. She lied to me. But knowing what you know now, you must surely realize why she might opt to obfuscate and mislead. Hydaelyn and Zodiac are both constructs of man, approximations of perfection limited by our own imperfections. Zodiac was, without question, the more powerful of the two, having been born from the sacrifice of half Aetheris's population. Thus was it necessary for Hydaelyn to commit herself wholly to his defeat. Still more effort was needed to confine him. Maintaining the brands taxed her greatly. With what power she dared spare, she cried out to any who might listen, and offered her blessing to those who heeded her call. Though it was likely within her power to do so, I believe she did not wish to speak of Aetheris and her history. Like Zodiac, Hydaelyn's purpose is a reflection of her creators. They wish to look to the future, and not linger in a prison of the past.
The Ascians set in motion 7 rejoinings before we came to oppose them. How many more worlds would have been lost had we not placed our faith in her? How many more souls living in the present would have been snuffed out for the sake of those long dead?
Well, in light of recent events, I see no reason to doubt your words. And even if Hydaelyn is not a god in truth, if Minfilia believed that we should trust in her plans, then I choose to do just that. Which brings me to a rather important question. Let's suppose we try but fail to stop this second coming of the final days.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
Should the source fall, what will become of the other worlds?
The nomenclature is more fitting than you know. Bring Ring to the source, and its reflections will share in its fate. So if the source falls, all the reflections are going to get destroyed as well. Oh, what's happening? Ah, it's ready.
What is ready?
What is ready?
Cake?
This way, if you'd be so kind. Oh! What? A beautiful sight, is it not? Yeah, it is.
Yes, but what is it?
Hydaelyn knew better than any that her power was not absolute. Indeed, she has ever struggled to hold Zodiark and his faithful at bay. She feared the worst, and so made preparations. In the event of his demise, there would be a contingency. What kind of contingency? This moon is more than a prison. It's a vessel capable of bearing the people of Aethers to safe harbor. What? You need not go far to find its pilots. In fact, I should be happy to take you to them and fulfill my final duty as Watcher in the dark. Oh, don't tell me you're going to dissipate or something. Urianger? I should very much like to hear more of this extraordinary story. Tancred? The moon is a ship? Well, now I've heard everything. Ishtala? It may be true, but others will struggle to believe it. I can scarcely believe it myself. The time has come for you to be on your way. The crater at the heart of Mare Lamentorum, where Zodiark was imprisoned, is not so easily traversed, however. Let us call upon Argos, the familiar whom you met earlier. He should have no trouble bearing you across. Oh, the doggy!
Doggy, yeah.
The doggy has a name. As Hydaelyn created me as the jailer, so too did she create Argos as the guard. It's his nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Strange. Mayhap the imbalancing of ether has affected him. Let us make for the crushing brand and attempt to call upon him there. You need but recall the path you walked with Argos before, and you'll find your way. Okay? If he labors in service to Hydaelyn's plan, I see no reason not to do as he suggests. Shall we make for this crushing brand, then? With a little preparation, it might be possible to traverse the gap on foot. Then again, it would be a long, long way down if one should slip. Perhaps another time. Urianger? Naught could prepare me for the boundless beauty of Aethers, shining, shimmering amidst a sea of stars. A blue sapphire, but one of countless other jewels, brimming with life, no doubt. Stolla? So close, and yet so far. Does not the harsh terrain remind you of somewhere we have been before? The Dravanian Forelands, eh? A place that rejects the intrusion of outsiders, where solitude reigns supreme. At the very least, it sounds suitable for Zodiark's prison. The place we seek is just ahead at the Chlorophosgrot. You see, Argos cannot manifest without sufficient concentrations of ambient ether. You would be hard-pressed to find a greater confluence than inside this cavern. Follow me. Curious, this place doth call to mind Plaeni, home of the Numo. Ah. This entire cave is thrumming with ambient ether. Alas, any further analysis will have to wait. The guard of Zodiac's prison, eh? Blood-red eyes, slavering maw, and built like a behemoth, I would imagine. That's so peace-friendly. It's quite the opposite.
Built like a behemoth.
Behemoth, haha. Yes, here will do nicely. The lunar spongoi draw ether from the ground, which is then dispersed in the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argos to manifest. Might you be willing to spare some of your own to help the spongoi along? Oh yeah, sure. Where do I give my ether? Hello! Can I pet you now? Oh, it's wiggling its tail. Argos manifests in a flash. He seems glad to see you again. A most fascinating creation of Hydaelyn's, would you not agree? Should the need arise, he is even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you, it was no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argos was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall when last he showed such an affinity for anyone. Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. Perhaps it was more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. Hello, doggy. As for your companions... Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I believe we are all ready. Then let us return outside, that you may cross the chasm. Your destination is the structure there across the Cradle of Darkness. There? But climb onto Argos's back, and he will take care of the rest. Once you arrive, it should not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the event of Zodiac's destruction. Heed their counsel. Together you may guide the star and its people to a kinder fate. This is where we part ways, but know that I shall ever be watching and praying for your success. Oh, you're not going to dissipate. Whew. I hope not, I mean. Our allies' assurances notwithstanding, we cannot be certain what awaits us on the other side, so perhaps it would be best if we did not all go at once. I propose the two of us cross first, while Thancred and Urianger wait here. Okay? Yes. Let's go. Whee! Hi, Stola. This structure is enormous, though that's hardly surprising given the size of the average Amoratine. Yeah, they're a little bit big. Apologies for the wait. Nah. Right then, let us head inside and... Oh! What is it, doggies? Are you going to leave as well? Most intriguing. A means by which he conserveth energy, mayhap. Well, I certainly wouldn't want him to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he has been. Thank you, Argos. We'll take things from here, or stay here where it's safe, alright? I'm worried about the doggy. If Argos is to remain without, let us not keep him waiting over long. Yes. Let's go inside, please. Look at that!
Ooh.
Best Waves Burrow. Truly a marvel beyond description. Its scale is reminiscent of Amarot, or rather, the replica we visited on the first. Thancred, what are we doing? Is it voiced?
Our moonship pilot
Yes.
should be around here somewhere. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, Tancred.
Okay.
Hello, you cutie pies!
It's a mouse.
It's a rabbit! How did you say a mouse? It's a rabbit. Why do you
This
think
is
it's
not a
called
rabbit.
Caratorium? Moon rabbits. Oh my goodness, so many of them. Oh, one is still sleeping. Why?
The head rabbit.
Yeah. Will we hear their voice, I wonder?
Look lively, everyone!
Oh my goodness!
I know. This 1243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance. For Zodiac, alas, is no more.
like, Zodiac is no more. Like,
You know,
he's
like,
gone.
You know, let's just do the inspection.
Yeah.
It's important.
As of now, our mighty moon has a new purpose. To bear the people of Aetheris to safety.
Aetheris, I was pronouncing it correctly.
Our time has come, my friends.
Why are you so cheerful and why are you also cute?
We must be swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive.
We are already here.
I expect your workstations to be immaculate. And don't forget to relay our signal to Aetheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No?
Yes,
Then
no,
hop to
yes,
it.
no, peppers. Hop to it.
We are speechless. Look at our faces.
'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps.
This is Uriange's way of saying they are so cute.
Perhaps.
He's stunned.
Tancred.
He's like, I don't know what I'm looking at anymore.
Given the present crisis, Hydaelyn doubtless sought to facilitate cooperation betwixt pilot and passenger. Indeed, it would require a heart as hard as diamond to raise one's voice in anger to beings possessed of such profound serenity. Yes, this is Uriange's way of saying they are cute. I found Uriange's reasoning somewhat flimsy, but the crew seems amicable enough. Tancred, what are we doing? Tancred's dumbfounded expression suggests he is still struggling to comprehend the spectacle he has just witnessed. They must be the Loporrits mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not at all what I expected, but the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assume the one who gave the rousing speech was their leader, though we might have to ask about in order to track them down. Come on then, let us be about it. Okay, I'm going to talk to this chipper Loporrit. Oh, the music comes from you? The leader of the crew? Not me, I'm afraid. Singing Way's the name. I'm in charge of the construction and maintenance of the atmospheric circulation system. Only the crispest, cleanest air for the people of Aetheris. And that's a promise. Leader? No. Sleeping Way. My job is... perhaps I'd better ask... where are you going? He went away. These are like Smurfs.
Yeah.
They all have their own things. Hello. Are you the leader? What? How in the... Hello. When did you get here? Who let you in? Why wasn't I told? Take me to your leader, or were you the one given orders earlier? Yes, I'm going to choose that one. Or hum.
I'm going to hum.
I'm going to hum too. What was that supposed to be? Your humming, if one can even call it, is atrociously off key. It should sound more like this. Why am I humming with Loporrits? As leader of the Loporrits, I cannot allow substandard attempts at musicality to go unremarked, even if you are a guest. But being the magnanimous sort that I am, I'll forgive you this once. That's so cute. Oh my. Well, well, looks like you beat us here. Yeah, I did. Your friends, I take it? Is this all of them? Right now, yeah. A group comprised entirely of children? Excuse me?
Well,
what must their parents be thinking? Excuse me?
You know, they are used to...
Amaro teens, right?
Teens, yeah.
But... This isn't a nursery after all, though perhaps we should build one. Or did we build one already? No matter, you needn't worry your pretty little heads. All will be well, I promise. We are not children. But goodness me, we shouldn't be standing about gulping. I must take you to meet the others. If you could run along back toward the entrance, you will find a path that leads to the central platform on the upper floor. There is no wrong way to reach it, but it's the large, glowing ball at the center, if you should find yourselves lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Oh, okay. Well then, back to the upper floor it is. The etheric composition and density of the sphere is quite similar to the crystalline concepts we have seen before. It likely shares their capacity for storing memories and knowledge. Okay. It's astounding how the Loporrits, despite their diminutive stature, are able to maintain such gargantuan facilities. Tancred? Given their size, getting from one end of this place to the other must be exhausting. I honestly don't know how they do it. By hopping. Haha!
Right, of course. Introductions are in order. My name is Livingway, and we are the Loporrits, created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Aetheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Livingway's the name, map reader and navigator of the heavens.
We are looking at each other like, what is going on?
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it.
Okay.
The people of Aetheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events that, unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration.
She's talking like it's nothing. I love this.
Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents said to you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations.
Yeah, exactly. What purpose?
Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further.
Oh.
Here, we have Atheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade.
Okay. That doesn't sound well.
A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Atheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, that.
So too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected.
It's so grim and I'm smiling all the time. Why?
Imagine, if you will, that Atheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun. The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Atheris, in case the metaphor is lost on you, to its grisly fate.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold.
Can we please not lose the source in the process? You know? I'm getting worried again.
And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star. Easier said than done, admittedly. For one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim. Which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems. We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Impressive technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
No need to shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Hydaelyn. Back in the old days, when she was still just Venar, she was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers. We and this wondrous vessel masquerading as a moon are products of their knowledge and know-how.
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation. Moreover, the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement. No need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak. While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Help? From who?
Yeah, from who?
From you and yours! Who else?
Oh my.
Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges?
Each time?
Ah, but you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, Charlian!
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women. And I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon? Hydaelyn herself led you here.
Yeah, she speaks to me. She does that.
You don't say! Children? Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
The music changed.
Well, Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher?
No, they are not living way.
Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
That tome in thy possession.
Yeah, oh, what is that? What's that book?
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Aetheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages.
I would like to read that book.
I thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it?
It is a regular-sized book.
Yes.
We are about to die and look at us.
Building Way, can you hear me? Yes, we're all very busy. Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
It's like the accommodation chambers are too big. Make them 1/3 of the size.
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
Yeah, who is helping you?
Yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
Oh, okay. If you wanted, you asked it very, very kindly, so I suppose I can provide some information. Huliandel? It's unfortunate that the domiciles were constructed in error, but their willingness to perform such sweeping renovations is a testament to their commitment. I cannot fathom the resources required for a facility so vast. Tancred? Why do I get the feeling we are going to have our hands full dealing with the Loporrits? Yes, Ishtola. I should have realized something was amiss when Living Way referred to us as children. What other delightful misconceptions do they hold, I wonder? Mapping Way, are you going to say something? Oh dear, I certainly hope Building Way can complete the renovations before more guests arrive. Or perhaps he should leave them as they are? That way you would have more space to lounge about. Well, if they have a bed for an Amarotine, we can fit so many people in that. Sideways. Right then. Now that you're here, we need you to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly. It won't be long before the final days are upon us in all their terrible grandeur, so it's imperative that we prepare to receive our passengers-to-be. If there's anything at all, that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. And address it we shall. Here at Best Ways Burrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. Because it's Best Ways Burrow. We have procured myriad amenities we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you have all worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with foodstuffs? Meet me at the curatorium, and we'll see about filling your bellies. We are going to the curatorium to eat carrots. She does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of Aetheris rotting to its core being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Yeah. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more of the Loporrits and this vessel. Oh, wow. Wait.
Oh, hello.
That crystal looks like The one in Eden.
Yes.
Given their early confusion regarding our size, I cannot help but wonder if they even know the first thing about us. Probably not, Tancred. Am I the only one who suspects we are not going to find anything edible whatsoever? Hast thou spied the peculiar sentinels patrolling the vicinity? Approach them with caution, or better yet, not at all, for they make no distinction between friend or foe.
And play weird music.
Yeah, Cooking Way. Hello. You're a lot smaller than we expected, but I trust you still have large appetites, yes? Welcome to the Curatorium. Here we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of our foodstuff production. Cooking Way. Pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I have learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced diet from the reference materials we received. Why, I have practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Did you make our conloaf or something? Naturally, we have also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Hop along the platforms here and you'll find a storage unit full to bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you like. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. Which carrot will you choose? The unassuming orange carrot? The peculiar-looking blue carrot? The vibrant yellow carrot? The ominous crimson carrot? Take a moment to reconsider. Orange, let's go with the ones that we know. From front to tip, no scratches or blemishes mar this immaculate specimen. Nevertheless, if not for its excessive length and girth, one might think it was an ordinary carrot. Yeah, eat it. On second thought, you elect to simply take an obscenely large carrot for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cooking Way whether it's safe to eat first. Okay? Can we eat these? Seriously, that's half my size, what the... I picked up the orange one, so...
I'll take the red. I'll take the crimson one.
So, did any of our selections set your mouth watering? Even Viera are like to swoon at the sight of so grand a carrot. That or be offended by all those who assumed that they would. This is amazing. Hand over. Ah yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. There's a satisfying crunch as you sink your teeth into the orange skin, and a warm tingling sensation runs down your spine. With the second bite, a wave of euphoria washes over you, and you drown in bliss. Alas, as you finish, the elation fades, leaving you with a desperate craving for another carrot.
The crimson carrot? The carrot is oddly tender, but as you begin to chew, a rich aroma fills your nostrils. A newfound vigor begins welling within you. The rumbling of your stomach, however, suggests it may simply be indigestion.
So all of them are basically edible, probably. They just have different feelings that, you know, associated with them, yeah. What did you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The carrot of happiness is full to bursting with nutrients and is guaranteed to leave you feeling satiated. It's a staple among us Loporrits. You have a different conversation, don't you?
The iron carrot can be a bit difficult to digest, but the boost to endurance it promises makes it The perfect meal before a day of heavy lifting.
Ah, so they have all different qualities.
Yeah.
And they boost different things. We have plenty of other varieties too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow, dream carrots to help with sleep.
So it's always carrots.
Yeah. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. Oh no. These carrots are extraordinary. But what if I don't like carrots? I can certainly see demand for this in Charlian. I'm going to say, but what if I don't like carrots? You don't like carrots? Oh, you must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Worry not. We have pureed versions on hand if you haven't the time to chew. Really? I take it you two had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from and naught else? Yep. Exactly. I gave up. If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about cuisine on Aetheris? Surely you're aware we have an abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate? Of course we are, but well, it was only quite recently that we established contact.
It's definitely
It's Charlian, I think it's Charlian. Even holding a conversation was a struggle at first. So imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. Perfect for you. That's all well and good, but men cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency, and what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? We are not rabbits! A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all named in the old tongue. You know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present continuous verb conjugations. Oh no, just the basics.
Just the basics.
Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore didst thy kind deem such a change necessary? When the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though, if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Aetheris as well, you would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, one I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there is naught but carrots on the menu. There's nothing we can do. And we get the carrot juice as well. While I'm sure the Loporrits would hope at the chance to expound upon carrots in exhaustive detail, perhaps it's time we moved on? Thancred? I hate to admit it, but I did rather like the carrots. Oh, Urianger is lost in thought. He's not speaking. Oh, goodness. Hungry for more carrots? Fear not, you can eat to your heart's content after you have seen the rest of Bestway's Barrow. I think we have had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to the other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. It's hardly sunset tapestries, but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. Ishtola? Do you suppose the clothes they prepared will be as grossly oversized as the carrots? Urianger? Garments born of the heavens, crafted with methods ancient and forgotten, dress befitting we who walk in shade, stewards of the esoteric. Oh, come on, Urianger, seriously. Here we are, the apparel production station. We have chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task. Creation magics. Oh, traditional, you say? Hydaelyn, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra whiz we needed. My, how resourceful! Ah, the sweet sound of recognition! You'll also be impressed to hear we have read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. Let me guess, these guys are going to be beast-tribe quests for the crafters or something.
Oh, it might actually be. Huh.
But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers, and they will see to the rest. If you're worried about sizing, don't be. It should be a simple matter to adjust our concepts as required, and it will be required. Oh no. Ah, it's you! One of the visitors from Etheris. Goodness me! Mappingway wasn't kidding! You really are smaller than the Watcher. Yes. Alright, you're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? An outfit that embodies my bloodlust. Something simple, yet functional. A fashionable and refined ensemble. I'm going to go for the third one. Fashionable. Right. This will only take a moment. What am I going to turn into?
A sack of potatoes?
How is this fashionable? Look at my face. There we are, all finished. A perfect fit, if I do say so myself. I'll be honest, I know nothing of fashion, let alone fashion on Etheris. But I'd wager no one down there has ever worn anything like this fine ensemble. Perhaps you can start a new trend. I have news for you. Also, why are the colors like my pants are red? Would you look at that? Speechless! And there I thought you may not like it. Which one did you choose?
Bloodlust.
Oh, it's the same. It ends up the same clothes.
It ends up the same, yes. It's always a sack of potatoes.
If you have a mind to try something else, why not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they would be hip to oblige. Oh, goodness gracious. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. You will change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Look to your map for the garment change's area of effect. Speak with the restless Loporrit to restore or prolong the garment change, okay? Ah, no one said you would be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course, it would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? Surprise me? Oh no! Got anything with a little more flair? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. I'm going to say surprise me.
Okay.
Surprise me, please. I think I can handle that. Let's see. Is there going to be another cutscene? This should do. Yes. What the hell? Some of my best work yet. It's a relatively new concept incorporating an idea that's never been tried with clothing before. Definitely never been tried now. Fragrance? Can you smell the carrots? Simply divine. I was worried how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Won't you go and show Living Way? I'm sure she's eager to see what we have come up with. You must continue wearing these garments. Yes, I know these parts. My, don't we look splendid? The result of much trial and error, but I know quality work when I see it. Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and we Loporrits in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. Oh, how do they look? Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness, what the... Sorry to have kept you waiting. They insisted we sample all of their concepts ere we returned.
She's posing.
He's posing, yeah. Verily, it's an ensemble must be coming. Oriasha, what are you doing?
Well, Thancred and Installer are not happy.
Scions all together. I think it's past time we returned these clothes. I was so confident our garments would meet you with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? The Watcher taught us that in his time everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. We thought we could appeal to modern tastes by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Aetheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. It's clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it's of inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we have underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we had memorized every tome we received, I doubt we would have fared much better. Maybe we are doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree, people who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I would like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Uh-oh. No, not that I'm aware of. We were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has ever been our aim. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all? I suppose you're right. He's probably thinking about Rin right now. Living Way, might we have leave to explore Best Wave's Barrow unattended? You have given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wish to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? Okay, guys, leave me alone. Not that anyone would need me anyway. There's a fidgeting Loporrit here. My apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything. Everyone has been talking about the visitors come from Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Etheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we have made a mess of things. Oh, but wait! You still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name is Growing Way, by the way. See you soon! You're here! You're really here! Yes. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? Alia, please. Alia Lanai, eh? Crikey! Even your names are amazing! Well, Alia, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready. Oh.
Ready in the teleporter.
Oh, this is a male one. So we will have teleporters. If we go to the residential district again, I mean. What? Excuse me?
Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Oh no.
Uh-oh!
Uh-oh.
Where did you take us?
A private audience, as thou didst request. For reasons I know not.
Urianger, are you up to something again? Let's listen. Hide, girl.
Just a precaution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously.
What's going on?
Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
Aww.
'Twould be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of thee and thine.
Lovely sentiment, really. But the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting.
Oh, poor Living Way. They just woke up and we are like, we don't like any of the things you're doing. Aww.
If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We can, we will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action.
Okay.
This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request.
Alright, listening.
Our collaborators on Etheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
Yeah, where are we going? We are
Put it. You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Oh, quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too.
Oh yeah, that's how Urianger speaks.
You understand that, in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality.
The greater
Difficult
good.
choices must often be made for the greater good.
Why is it always Urianger?
I don't know.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
This is not the first time he's doing sneaky stuff.
Idle musings. 'Tis no trifle, thou dost ask. Yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
You promised me, Huliandel.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see.
But I was listening to them!
But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
But, Huliandel, you promised that you would have no secrets anymore! Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. Shame you couldn't see it though. You really would have liked it. It may not seem like it, but we have been planning for this far longer than I would care to admit. Each time we woke up, we would have long discussions about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this and that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Etheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we are striving to make the moon a vibrant, magical place they would hope at the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You've already had a look around the Curatorium, but wait until you see what's waiting for you at the east end of the burrow. Follow me. Good, you're here. Through this door is Greatest Endwale. It was named as such because it's the whale that to end all whales. What? The most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand the people of Etheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. How is this a forest? So, what did you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? I couldn't see the forest or the trees. I didn't see any... Wait, you don't mean those crystals out there are... It's as transcendent as burying your face in a chocobo's plumage and taking a good long whiff. It's not, by the way, chocobo's smell, that's why she's saying that. Okay. I'm going to choose the mid one. Right you are! Our forest is made of crystals and constructs dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we have never seen trees in person before, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation, we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees. And thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as that you'd find in a forest on Etheris. The fountain here behind us, powered by the large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us with fresh water. Okay. Much time and effort was spent making it the most spherical of spheres, and I dare say the unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. I enjoy nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you could do with a stretch yourself. Oh, you want me to stretch, okay. Let's do the stretch. That's the spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. If it's not too much to ask, it has always been a dream of mine to take a walk through this forest with someone from Etheris. Could we maybe... Yeah, sure. You will? Be still, my quivering whiskers. Grooming away is now accompanying you. Okay. I was thinking, Alia, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon and what it is we do. When we were first created, The moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Hydaelyn gave us our first task: furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is, but it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Hydaelyn shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. But anyway, let's keep going. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we had started sooner. Who would have thought we would need 4,000 years to make all this? It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. And then there was that brief period where our productivity came to a screeching halt. When that bizarre red satellite was set up from Ethers. The Elegance Mischief, I think. Yeah. We thought maybe some new nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. I can't tell you how relieved we were when Hydaelyn informed us of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Come, there's a blue one growing way. I want you to talk. Ask if you can taste the rainbow crystal. What? What? No! I'm not sure what it is you do with crystals on Ethers, but we don't eat them, and certainly not this one. It's possessed of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystals like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. It's worth mentioning, though, that because of Hydaelyn's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and status and all, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Ethers. A conjuring of fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth, which is why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. I see. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they are massive crystals and not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Oh, I see. Huh. Along with the device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a role similar to our sun, and do so better, even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that's harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy while allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Nice. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees have ever so slightly different curvatures. Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. This forest truly is the greatest. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion systems and habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago, and with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good, except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Ethers. Why not go and visit Ethers yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the results could be disastrous. Then there were a few more rejoinings, and it became increasingly difficult to converse with Hydaelyn. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Ethers we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate everything worked out as it did. This is a rather long tour of the sites. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, we remained asleep and waited, hopeful Hydaelyn would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did, and though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. We shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time with what we taught them, No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supply stocks from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you would like the greatest Enswale. I knew it! Thank you again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. Aww. Hi, guys. There you are. I take it you have already received the grand tour? A shame we missed it. Growing Way? I have been looking all over for you. Urianger? I'm looking at you, Urianger. Is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. I'll be calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? I can't imagine why you would need me there, but if you insist... We won't be away long, so you all are more than welcome to continue looking about the burrow. Now, come along, Growing Way. Urianger?
Explain yourself.
Yeah, start talking. Like, seriously, start talking. Before we arrived, you seemed to be in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? Now let me explain it to you. So many things, actually. They've spent 12,000 years preparing for this? With the appointed hour fast approaching, I can certainly understand their restlessness, but still... It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when there are yet no signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they are possessed of the world's most charming personalities, or a means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you'll excuse me. Urianger, explain yourself! Stop running away! I don't buy it, look at my face. I'm like, you promised never to keep a secret. Yeah. What do you suppose has suddenly tickled his fancy? Every expansion, Urianger is up to something. And me no likes, because he promised me in Shadowbringers that he will no longer keep secrets from me. It's clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Etheris is indeed crucial, but I'm not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I'm not alone in my reticence. Yes, I don't want the first to die, for example. I know almost everyone on that world. The final days will make brave fools of us all. Back to old tricks. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you?
More so than usual.
Would you go and see if he's alright? Y'shtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Tancred, are you going to say anything else? Better for only one of us to go, in case it's a delicate matter. Hopefully I'm overthinking things. No, he's up to something. I am quite sure. We need to talk. We need to talk seriously. Oh, I see you. Run, girl! Urianger appears to be heading towards the entrance to Best Ways Burrow. Okay. Urianger, you're so close. Can I catch up to him? Urianger ventures off into Mare Lamentorum for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Oh no! Are we going to hide from Urianger? Okay, I need to hide here. Come on, Urianger. Nothing. There's nothing. Nothing here. No one to see. Move along. Come on, Urianger, move. Okay. Who is there? No one. You don't see me. Don't even bother, Urianger. Holy shit, why are you running? Why are you running?
Yeah, that's where
Why are you running? Oh my goodness, Urianger, stop! How am I going to catch you? Now speak. I will not ask again.
Thine arrival is timely as ever.
Oh, you were expecting me, okay?
Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Living Way, I presume?
Yes, I heard. Yep. You said no secrets.
'Twas not
Spit it
my
out.
intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again.
What is it? What are you going to do
Is it
this
so
time?
plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity. And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme.
Yes.
A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade and Flamine her beloved daughter.
Aw, he's still feeling so sorry about all the things he has done.
Two souls whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives. Ones that would not demand such terrible costs.
Are you going to tell me what you're doing now?
Resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbreeder.
Oh, Moonbreeder again.
Who did face death unflinching,
No.
that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today.
Aww, Urianger. Look, you made me sad too.
Selfish wants born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes there is no right answer. Have faith in yourself and in your decisions. Take heart and protect well those you can. Would that we had time to weigh the costs. I think I'm going to choose the second one.
I'm going for...
Yeah, that's so me to say.
Sage counsel indeed. See, wisdom as befits a great worm. Curious that he should think thee in need of such encouragement. Strange.
Dragon words.
Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly.
We normally don't speak alone, Huliandel. Now tell me. For whom do you fight?
For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrits proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond.
Oh, you're not going to tell me?
It would be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these barrel!
Seriously? Eavesdropping?
No matter. We've got our plans.
I don't like that look.
In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of my own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. It's the reason I set out alone, that failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. It would be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavor? I thank thee for accompanying me. It's a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestwave's burrow. Difficult decisions must needs be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe we are all of one mind in our desire to save the people of Ithers. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrits, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Oh, we are going to collect something? Oh, an abundance of spongi. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiark's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Numa, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation?
We're protecting.
Yeah, we are protecting him. I shall protect my Scion friend. They are my family, after all. Okay. Wait.
Destination.
Yeah, I just realized. Surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Huliandel is faring. Probably well. Huliandel remains fixated on his work. Look at me keeping watch. There, it's done. A magicked ink, every ounce of efficacious as that crafted by the Numa. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is, admittedly, possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporrits will appreciate. Alia! Huliandel! Oh, thank goodness! I thought he had been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. What? No, we were not. Ishtola has been looking all over for you, Alia. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was also quite clear that she wishes to speak with Alia alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Urianger. Why don't I like this? But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand, delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Barrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporrits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. Well, I suppose I should be going then. That's about an extra pair of hands before I go and meet with Y'shtola. That's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Of course I'm going to choose that one. Are you insinuating I would betray the trust of Hydaelyn's chosen? Or worse, do anything to risk getting on Y'shtola's bedside? She's clearly not one to be crossed, nor made to wait. Now, off with you!
Well, she has a point.
Yeah, she has a point. Worry not, Alia, I shan't be long. I hope not. Be careful, Urianger, I somehow doesn't like this. Oh, Alia, we thought you would be away for far longer. Uh-oh. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you're here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Runningway, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he's determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he is likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No. Well, if it's really that important, you can try using these bowls of moose flesh. Ew. Not to be confused with the other thing. Runningway's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you will have no trouble finding him in a crowd. And when you do, try lobbing your balls at... Oh my goodness! Crude, but if it proves effective. He was here in Greatest Answell when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. Yes, I'm Runningway. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? How to explain? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. Yeah, they said that. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if we have got time to look into the final days when there is so much to do before the great voyage. Oh. Oh, they are all trying to trick us.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's true that Hydaelyn did impart to us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any other Loporrit around here. Less probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they would better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help. But if there's nothing else, I have work to do.
Yeah, I need to run.
And I'm off! I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? I found him. So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it, I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Urianger? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? Well, they took him. On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway? Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Urianger a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you will find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days.
Nope.
I don't believe.
No.
Oh, what to do? What to do? I promised Living Way I would help, but... No, I promised I would help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. I suspect the Loporrits are up to something, but if there is an ode to be learned of the final days, I think it's best we play along. For now, at least. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I guess we'll just have to go and find whoever has the key. Growing Way? Enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but... The moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Etheris, and we are running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We hoped we would see the wonders we have to offer, but you have found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Living Way's game. Run us about in circles and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Huliandel. He understands what's at stake, what must be done. I fear you have misjudged us, Growing Way. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Etheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There is no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Etheris will escape here to the moon. They will be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Are you serious? Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. Are you serious? If we dally, they will overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos awaits outside. You must be joking. She is too powerful! Yes, I am.
Oh, hi, Growing Way.
Is it Growing Way? It just says Loporrit on my screen. We have to save them. Run! Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Huliandel. Yes. If you dare touch him, I am going to hang you with your ears. Like.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
You say so, Huliandel. Talk to them.
But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
They are so lonely, they want people up here.
Fucker.
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure.
Aww.
It is clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
They are so cute.
Oblivious.
Names are an expression of the self. A declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Aetheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing!
Of course, it's the singing way that it finds Urianger really, you know, whatever he says is meaningful.
Of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities.
Aww.
For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly. To serve and serve well.
Aww.
That goes for all of us. Don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe.
Can we just first try
If
to
there's anything
prevent
wrong with what we
Final
built,
Days?
we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Are you going to pet her?
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Aetheris are beyond counting and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we have met.
What's your name?
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway.
But then,
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. But one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate.
What are you thinking about, Urianger?
And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live?
He's talking about Moonbrida again, isn't he?
yeah.
After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee.
What's that?
The ink.
Ink
Right.
as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Livingway's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
Oh.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order.
Oh, are we leaving Griage here?
Yeah.
Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
I hope so too, Griage.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
Oh, my flower is blooming again. Orange this time. The flower? How came it into your possession? Why are you asking? How very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name. Oops, I'm sorry, Watcher. I cut your voice.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Oh, no, you don't need to, Livingway.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
Yeah, we kind of beat him up.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Aetheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts.
Hospitable hosts.
And circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlayan Forum, yes?
Yeah, we.
How did you know?
It's very easy to know, you know.
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
I agree, Ishtola. Let's go back. I chanced to spy you crossing the chasm, and I feared something was amiss. But all is well, and more importantly, I have been given the opportunity to behold a wonderful sight. Keep the Elpis close, and its light will be your guide. Thancred, a declaration of hopes and aspirations. I hadn't thought of it that way before. The Loporrits may be in good hands now, but that doesn't change the fact that their plan is a last resort I would rather not employ. Let's see it doesn't come to that, for the first and all the other reflections. The Loporrits think so highly of the people of Etheris, yet it seems this evacuation plan is the only way they know to express their adoration. If we had been more clear in our intentions from the start, mayhap we could have avoided this wrinkle. Something to keep in mind in future. The others will be so happy to hear Urianger is going to stay and teach us all about Etheris. We'll have to be careful not to get too distracted by his lessons. There's still maintenance to carry out after all. Nice to meet you. Name's Puddingway. Sorry again for all the trouble. We promise we will do better. Honest. Livingway? Well, that was all rather embarrassing, wasn't it? At least we're on the same page now. People and Etheris. We'll say both, or at least give it a good try. Make sure everyone listens to Urianger, would you? Tell Growingway I look forward to our next walk together. You Loporrits sure an excitable bunch.
I felt bad after kicking Growingway.
Yeah, I think I will say the Growingway as well. I think I will choose that one. I will. I'm sure he'll be glad to hear it. After that beating, he better. Mappingway? There's little I can do to help stop the final days, but should you need to know of Star Traversal, look no further. Such knowledge I can afford in abundance, so do not hesitate if you find yourself wanting. Urianger? It's a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and so well. Though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Etheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. I need not remind you of the dangers we face, nor the countless lives at stake both in the source and its reflections. Go with courage, my friend, and pray give the others my regards. With the Loporrits in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babil. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Bye, guys! Hope to see you later, but not to evacuate, please.